cfnew v2, 9, 8 a powerful terminal for Cloudflare workers and pages. cfnew is a cloud-based terminal that lets you manage your networking services directly from Cloudflare. After you deploy cfnew, you should set the compatibility date to January 20th, 2026. This ensures that the runtime environment matches the newest features and security patches. To deploy it on Cloudflare pages, first log into the Cloudflare dashboard and go to Workers and Pages, select your project, then open Settings and Runtime. Find the compatibility date setting, choose 20,260,120, and save. After that, return to Deploy, create a new deployment, and upload the cfnew files. For a worker deployment, the steps are similar. Log in, go to Workers and Pages, select your worker, then Settings and Runtime, set the compatibility date and save. What can cfnew do? It supports multiple protocols at once, including VLS, Trojan, and the HTTP header masquerade protocol called XHTTP. You can use custom paths instead of a UUID, and set multi-level paths that the system will handle automatically. Built-in latency testing helps you find the fastest nodes, and the system can automatically fetch your travel codes and map them to airport names. The configuration is stored in Cloudflare's KV store and any change takes effect immediately, without redeploying. An API is available to add or delete preferred IPs on the fly. cfnew works with many clients: Clash, Surge, Singbox, Loon, QuantumAltX, V2Ray, Shadowrocket, Stash, NecArray, and V2Rayang, and the web interface can open the corresponding client automatically. The system detects the user agent and returns the appropriate format, and it supports both Chinese and Persian, switching automatically based on the browser language. Key features of version 2.9.8. Subscription conversion. All configuration files for Clash, Stash, Singbox, Surge, Loon, and QuantumAltX are generated directly by the worker, eliminating the need for external converters. Full rule sets. Clash uses LoI also-tier rule providers, Singbox uses MetaCubex's SRS, and Surge, Loon, and QuantumAltX use remote ACL4 SSR or Blackmetric 7 rules optimized transport, inspired by Grain TCP. WebSocket and TCP forwarding now merge small packets on the way up, aggregate them on the way down, and send large packets directly, improving parsing speed for less graphical ALPN selection. A dropdown now lets you choose ALPN values or leave it blank, without writing ALPN in the connection string. Node aliasing. Domains become preferred domain 0.1 inches, IPv6 nodes become IPv6 preferred 0.1 inches, and IPv4 nodes use ISP-CALO 0.1 inches. KV cache, a 30-second short window and version key reduce KV lookups by more than 19%. SOX 5 downgrade timeout. If a direct connection has no data after 3.5 seconds, the system falls back automatically. Page effects. An FX setting toggles visual effects with persistence in local storage obfuscation version. A do you believe the light endpoint offers the same logic as the plain text version, providing an extra layer of stealth. Updates in previous releases. Version 2.9.7 added a floating save all button in the lower right corner that works with CTRL+S or CMD+S, replaces blocking dialogues with toast messages that auto-hide, and merges the 4 save buttons into a single floating group. The same obfuscation endpoint is also included. Version 2.9.6 upgraded to support X-Ray Curve March 26, 2027, added Hong Kong IPs, 3 HRKV caching, invalid request interception, and a fix for SOX 5 key errors. Version 2.9.5 switched the default GitHub preferred URL to off and added a toggle for native addresses. Version 2.9.4 introduced client-side WebSocket path parameters for overriding proxy IP, worker region, and SOX 5 on a per-node basis. The priority order is path parameters first, then KV or environment variables, then automatic detection. Version 2.9.3 added a graphical interface for custom DNS over HTTPS and HTTP domain names. Changing them on the page takes effect immediately. Version 2.9.2 fixed a Clash configuration generation bug. Version 2.9.1 added a encrypted client allow support for SSL/TLS, automatically enabling it listen-only mode and providing a on-a-click toggle. Version 2.9 added region filtering, latency filtering, append or replace mode, and better display of results. Using cfnew, you can configure cfnew with a handful of environment variables. The UUID is required. Other optional variables include P custom proxy IP import, which disables the worker region setting WKS SOX5 address, either user, pass at host, port or host, port D custom path, such as my path or path to sub, automatically prefixed with a slash if missing WK worker region code like SG, HK, US, or JP, which is ignored if P is set. Protocol level settings for VLS, Trojan, and XHTTP are simple yes-no toggles. Additional options include a password for Trojan, whether to enable etch, and a list of ALPN values for TLS nodes. The graphical configuration approach is recommended. Create a KV namespace called C, bind it to the worker environment, visit UUID or custom path, and the UI will let you change settings instantly. API. The system provides a RESTful API to manage preferred IPs. You can add a single IP with a POST request to UUID API. Preferred IPs include multiple IPs in a JSON array, and delete all IPs with a delete request sending all true. These endpoints take plain URLs. If you use a custom path, replace UUID with that path. Subscriptions and clients. Because cfnew outputs configuration strings for each supported client, each client gets a tailored list of nodes. The system automatically opens the desired client when you click a button. The user agent is inspected, and the matching format is returned. You can also request only TL-Sunler mode if fetch is enabled. Clean side path parameters. If you share a link that contains query parameters, the system will override specific settings for that node. The parameters include P override proxy IP or domain, with or without a port WK specify the worker region. This bypasses the automatic region detection. RM disable region automation S override the SOX5 address. If both P and WK are present, only P takes effect. These parameters take priority over KV or environment variables and over automatic detection. Multi-client support. cfnew works with 10 different clients. On the configuration page you can click a button to open the client's UI automatically. For each client, the generated file is already optimized for that tool's protocol configuration. Performance improvements. The default snapshot interval is 15 minutes. Worker instances persist across requests, and smart caching reduces redundant computations. We've also introduced fallbacks for failed direct connections, a TL-Sunler mode, and multiple ways to disable or enable preferred IP, domain, or GitHub-based preferred lists through a single toggle. Thank you. cfnew is built on the edge tunnel code from cfnew, uses proxy IP data from cfnew, receives reverse proxy IPs from Qursark, and fetches live preferred lists from a local Telegram group. It is a collaborative effort to make Cloudflare networking easier, faster, and more reliable.